The Fayum tree, a variety of rainforest mahogany, had become one of her favorite spots. The Fayum The Fayum was a steely and compact wood that was admired for its bright yellow blossoms, which dotted the green foliage during seasonal bursts and littered her small meditation platform with its falling petals. Combining hardness and beauty, the Fayum was indicative of the toughness and splendor that characterized Kaew's present state of mind. Late one evening, Kaew had a vision. The vista of a spacious pool filled with golden lotus blossoms stretched before her mind's eye. The floating blossoms were as big as ox cart wheels, their thin, fine gold petals flaring like feathery spokes. Other lotus flowers, their petals closed around the stem and pointing skyward, stood tall above the azure water like gold-domed temples. Others were submerged just below the surface of the clear, cool water, their radiance rippling across the pool like a golden breeze. The water appeared so magically transparent that the soft undulating mud of the bottom was clearly visible, detached from their stems. Some of the petals floated on the surface, wet and sparkling, their delicate fragrance permeating the air in all directions. Hello, Frienzo, peace be upon you. Late one evening, Kaew had a vision. The vista of a spacious pool filled with golden lotus blossoms stretched before her mind's eye. The floating blossoms were as big as ox cart wheels, their thin, fine gold petals flaring like feathery spokes. Hello, peace be upon you. Other lotus flowers, their petals closed around the stem and pointing skyward, stood tall above the azure water like gold-domed temples. Others were submerged just below the surface of the clear, cool water, their radiance tippling across the pool like a golden breeze. The, the water appeared so magically transparent, soft undulating mud on the bottom was clearly visible. Detached from their stems, some of the petals floated on the surface, wet and sparkling, their delicate fragrance permeating the air in all directions. As Kaew watched in quiet awe, a small golden duck glided down from the sky, dimmed across the placid surface, and began swimming playfully among the lotus blossoms. Yes, hello, peace be upon you. It pecked at the floating petals, gracefully circling each petal as it ate. After consuming 4 petals, it stopped, satisfied, and remained perfectly still. Watching fascinated from the edge of the lotus pond, Kaew felt her body lift and float like a cloud over the water as she approached the golden duck. She felt her legs spread to straddle its back. But as she mounted, she merged completely with it. At that instant, she realized that she herself was the golden duck. Immediately she withdrew from samadhi meditation and returned to normal consciousness. Maichi Kayu thought about this mystical vision for days, searching for its essential meaning. A gold duck eating golden lotus blossoms. Lotus flowers symbolize offerings in homage to the Dharma, the essence of the Buddha's noble path. Gold stands for light, the light of the mind. The flower represents the blossoming or opening up of the mind's radiant light. She understood that the four lotus petals were the four Ariya Magga, the four milestones on the noble path to arahantship. Like the golden duck, Maichi Kayu radiated the clear luminous light of understanding, knowledge that in this lifetime she would surely complete her journey along that noble path. Maichi Kayu knew that consciousness pervaded all moments of awareness, regardless of whether attention was focused internally or externally. Nothing she experienced ever stood outside consciousness, since all phenomena were conceived and experienced only on that basis. They had no independent existence separate from the conscious mind. For that reason, awareness of the body was inherently a function of consciousness. In essence, she was investigating an internalized bodily form, a mental picture of the body based on sensation. Consciousness spread out naturally through the entire body, animating the sense spheres and activating sensory awareness. The experience of the embodiment of self was comprised chiefly of mental images shaped in conjunction with sensory awareness of her body, and colored by a deep-rooted attachment to form and personal identity. With a sense of spontaneity and detachment, Mai Chi Kayu focused on the body as a mental construct, as a product of the conscious mind. If the physical body was merely a conglomeration of elements temporarily lumped together, where did the sense of embodiment come from? And what initiated thoughts of ugliness or emotions of revulsion in response to the natural process of bodily decay and disintegration? As she focused on internalized images of the body's dissolution, Meichi Kayu paid particular attention to the accompanying thoughts and emotions that defined their appearance, either agreeable or disagreeable. Becoming a detached and unbiased witness, she gave the discriminating mind free rein to first conceptualize and then react to its interpretations. She knew her body only through feedback from the senses, combined with the mind's conceptual activity. But she then experienced those sensual concepts as being either positive and good or negative and bad. She needed to understand why the mind created those images and how the mind suffused them with meaning. At this stage, Maichi Kayu began to focus exclusively on the emotional responses evoked by body contemplation. She had become adept at interrupting the mind's conscious momentum and reversing its normal course back to the source. So she started to use the same technique to reverse the flood of thought and emotion and retrace its course to the point of origin. She concentrated on an image of advanced bodily decay, absorbing it all at once without conceptually without conceptualization. With spontaneous awareness and specific perception functioning together, she noticed an instinctive surge of revulsion push its way out from deep inside her to permeate the image. She held the image in her awareness until object and observer became one. At that moment, image and emotion gradually contracted and drew inward until both were fully absorbed by the conscious mind. That's all for today, guys. Peace be upon you.